King here, and I have another Brawl deck for you. I got Kykar's Wind Fury. So this is a three mana color creature. Came out the M20 set, and just I like the combo of them. Really like the effect because whenever you cast a non-creature spell, that is any non-creature spell, that is a planeswalker, that is an artifact, that is anything, you get to create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying, and then you can even sacrifice that spirit at any point and add a mana for red mana. So pretty solid creature here, and really wanted to get into some sort of a deck. So here we go for a Brawl deck, Kykar's Wind Fury. Let's try it out. So we see a Defiant Strike, draw a card. What you really want is this is a four cost commander in this deck, and the struggle is to get him activated, get him going. So any amount of card draw or any kind of thing you can sift through a sword or scry to get yourself those manas in place, to get his activated effects abilities start going, the better. God's Willing, again, the target creature you control gains protection from color of your choice. You get to protect your creature. Got to get that Kykar protected so you can start popping off some of these other abilities and spells. Scry, you want to draw a card, unsummon, deal with some of those creatures that could attack you or hurt you, harder, stronger creatures you don't want to see. Also, one other thing to note about this is that when Kykar creates these 1/1 creature spirits, again, they are only 1/1, so some of the higher, stronger creatures are a little bit difficult to deal with, and that's why I put something like this in here. Not only do you get to instant, especially return one of their big creatures back so they don't kill off your little spirit creature tokens, but it also is another spell. So not only do you stop their creature, but it also lets you create another creature on your side. So it's a 1-for-1. Maximize Velocity, really good because not only do you get to use that effect for once, it gains haste in your Kykar, but also Jumpstart. Anything you can find with Jumpstart. If you don't like some of these cards in this deck, you can go with some others, but Jumpstart is a solid because you can bring it right back from the graveyard, use it again, pop off, use Kykar's Wind Fury's ability a second time. Shock, kill something small and create something small. And Integrity and Intervention, target creatures gets +2 and just deals damage. So Rally of the Wings, really good. So if you noticed this, I'm sure you did, but this creates tokens with flying. So Rally of the Wings, really good with other creatures that don't have that flying ability. But untap all of those creatures you control. So really nice as you get the flying ability is just a nice bonus, but being able to untap all of those creatures, those token creatures that attack that turn to defend you on the next turn, really good card. And again, create another creature on top of that. Amass 1, you and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Again, just trying to keep that Kykar alive. He is going to be targeted fast and in a hurry, so anything you can do to keep him alive is better at this point. Narsat's Reversal, you play a really powerful spell. Some of these other ones I'll show you. And then you get to copy that, and again, just really good for Kykar. Copy a spell, get 2 creatures out of this. Radical Idea, again, for the draw effect and the jumpstart ability to get more creature tokens. Dreadhorde Arcanist, I really found him helpful in this build because every time I had something in the grave, a shock or a maximize velocity or an unsummon or an opt, a lot of one-cost spells up here if you notice, just a lot of one-cost spells. So several of them get utilized again with Dreadhorde Arcanist and then create more creature tokens. Lava Coil, deal with those 4 creature, some of the, like I said, the biggest difficulties of this deck is when you're facing off against a lot of stronger creatures. Just the little 1/1s don't really have it in them a lot of times to carry the weight they need to. But again, this is a massing, hoarding kind of deck, so that's what you want to do. A lot of creature tokens. Thrill of Possibility. Get rid of one of the cards, it's fine. You got a Dreadhorde Arcanist, or get rid of one of the cards with a Jumpstart ability, and then you draw 2 additional cards. Goblin Electromancer, any of those 2 cost, all of a sudden become 1 cost and just so much more helpful. So then Response Resurgence. Response does 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Really nice to have this whenever you have that little 1/1. The guy doesn't think it's going to do anything, and then boom, it turns into a 6/6. It's really nice. The second ability, though, is what really makes this during the end game, the mid to late game, is you get this creatures you control gain First Strike and Vigilance, and after this turn, there's an additional combat phase. So let's say you have 8 to 9 of them on the field. They block 2 or 3. Who cares? Because you, there you go. You're going to attack a second time with all of them again, all flying and just so good during the mid to late game. Arcane Signet, pretty staple for most commander decks. And again, most of the commander staples that they carried over, like Arcane Signet or Command Tower, really good. Just the same abilities, staples in this format as well. Unbreakable Formation. You attacking with all of them, you want to keep them indestructible, and it gives them +1/+1 vigilance, so they're all ready to attack and then to defend again with all those little spirit creatures flying around you. This just is some hand hate for your opponent there. Can't draw more than 1 card, and they're able to sift through your deck a little bit quicker to get those non-creature spells you're looking for. Winged Words, again, everything that has flying, so here you go, draw 2 more cards, cost 1 less. Really nice when you get this, and Goblin Electromancer, basically costing 1 cost is just nice. Light up the stage, sift through, exile, but you get to play those cards this turn, a lot of lower cost here, so not too bad. Empyrean Eagle, really great with this deck. Everything gets +1/+1, all those little creature tokens you're creating, all of them get +1/+1. Teferi Time, Raveler, just don't like him so much, but man, he's so good. So there you go. And again, even playing, the big thing is playing Planeswalkers even activates this effect, non-creature spells. Beacon Bolt deals damage, Jumpstart effect, also put it in there for the Jumpstart effect. Saheeli, so if you didn't have enough of those little creature guys flying around, you decide you're going to create some 1/1 colorless server artifacts as well. So just another thing on top of that to keep you rolling. Draw a card, discard a card. Again, with a lot of the effects we have with the jump starts and the Dreadhorde Arcanist, it's not nearly as damaging to have to get rid of a card because you could just reuse it or use it later. Conclave Tribunal. Pretty solid staple. Get rid of something you don't like. Anything non-land permanent. Chemister's Insight. Draw 2 cards and the Jumpstart effect. Got Eternal Kefnet. Pretty typical. You got to create the reveal instant or sorcery card so you can keep sifting through your deck. Murmuring Mystic. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, again, this is just it just gets so good when you have this and this, or if you have Murmuring Mystic and a Kykar, and it just is. So many creatures just flying around all over the place. Really hard to deal with unless they have some mass damage. But even still, you can pop right back off with getting some more creatures by playing another spell or 2. Crackling Drake, draw a card. Pretty solid staple. Browstorm. So here is another thing. You kind of just, if you're just going for some straight kills, you can't get around with the creatures somehow. You're creating to block your path. You can at least deal damage to your opponent. The +2 is a Scry ability, lets you sort through your deck a little bit more. And then that -2 is really good whenever you have some of these more powerful spells you want to play a double effect of. It's really helpful as well. Just putting them in here now until they create the Brawl format that I can actually create a Brawl deck. Alright, Sephara Sky's Blade. So this one is kind of like... convoking almost. You can pay a certain number and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Has flying, has lifelink, but the other great ability of this is that other creatures you control with flying now have indestructible. So every creature token that you have, once this one comes in the field, creates indestructible, including Kykar. So really good. I would not leave home without it. Sephara Skyblade, good one. Finale of Glory, just because, you know what, I didn't have enough creatures and tokens flying around, so I decided I'd just create some more soldiers. And if you have 10 of those towards the end of the game, you get 4/4 White Angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance, just because, you know, reasons. Expansion Explosion, copy target instant. If you have a target you want to play, then target it again, draw cards, if you've drawn 2 cards, now you draw 4 cards, so really good. Then a bunch of lands, 3 plains, 6 islands, 3 mountains, Azorius, Tranquil Cove, is it Gilgate, and so on and so forth, and more lands, and more lands, and more lands. Command Tower, one that definitely don't forget to put this one in your deck. Really easy to get because it is only a common, so really easy for you to just get out of this and put into your decks. I would definitely have these in every one of your Brawl decks going forward. Evolving Wilds, and the souped up Evolving Wilds Fable Passage to get that sort and search. Alright, I appreciate your guys' time, and I think that Brawl is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. Again, Kykar wins Fury, bunch of tokens. Enjoy.